Alright, so I don't know about in other countries, but here in the US, we have laws here called hate crime laws, and basically what these are, if you guys don't already know, if you don't live in the US, um, these are laws where basically if I go outside right now and I go kill a black person or a LGBTQ person or person or non-binary or whatever, if I go kill someone who's a minority, versus if I just kill someone who's white and who's like, is not part of the LGBTQ community, it's like 10 times more the punishment. And yes, these are actual laws where, depending on, who the victim is of a crime, it affects the sentencing. And the reason, or the exact description of this law, I'll leave a link in the description below of it. It's like, if the motivation behind you committing a crime is to harm someone of like the black community or the LGBTQ community, then it's a worse crime and you should get punished more for it. Which is just a really ridiculous idea because I get what it's trying to do. It's trying to overcompensate for racism in the United States, which does happen, admittedly, but it's the wrong solution. If you want everybody to be treated equally, you shouldn't have some people get special treatment and other people not get that special treatment. I mean, it's like we say that we want to treat people equally, but then, the government puts out laws like this and then everyone just agrees with them, even though it's not treating people equally and it's actually it's a racist system. I mean, it shouldn't matter like the the reason behind why you commit a crime. I mean, it's like if I go ahead and I kill someone, which we're just gonna assume this is first degree murder, like I meant to kill them, and I was trying to kill them. It's first degree murder on someone who's white, and if I go do that, it should be the same treatment if I go out and kill a black person, regardless whether I was being racist or whether I was doing something else or not. Again, this is all just hypothetical. This isn't real scenarios here. But yeah, that's basically what these laws are. It's just treating people based on, their color, their skin, or their sexual orientation, or their gender, or whatever you want to say. And it is a really bad thing in the United States because it's getting a lot of people who, should have gotten in trouble that are getting in even more trouble for literally no reason. I mean, it's bad to kill anybody, and obviously people are going to say, well, you shouldn't just kill anyone, and it's just a deterrent from doing that. But it's stupid because it's like, well, yeah, you shouldn't kill people, but that's why we have a law against that. There's no reason to make new laws that give certain people special treatment because that is what is actually increasing racism in the United States, is treating people differently. It's getting white people to be or black people to be suspicious of white people, which only makes, racism worse, and it just makes more racial tension in the United States, which is what it's actively trying to fight against. So it's a very ironic system in the fact that it's causing more of what it's trying to prevent, which is what a lot of systems in the US are like, but this is just what we're talking about for this video. So yeah, just those are basically the overviews of those laws, and they're pretty horrible. I don't know what it's like in, other countries, and I hope it's not like this because the United States has become very I don't really know the right word for it, but like they become very increasingly woke over the years, and because of that we have these new laws now, and they're really bad. I'm one of the reasons this law was even made was because it wants to overcompensate for racism, which I said earlier. And it's not overcompensating for racism, it's actually causing more racism because it causes different racial groups to be treated differently, and that only upholds the idea that blacks are different from whites and that people should be treated differently based on the color of their skin or their sexual orientation or any of that. But in reality, we should treat everybody the exact same way, no matter what it is about them, their color, their political affiliation, their anything. Everybody should be treated the exact same, and everybody can usually agree on that. But these laws do not support those ideals, which is the government is supposedly trying to push. So yeah, they're really bad laws, and it's really affecting a lot of people like in a bad way. Like if I and people are starting to call like things that wouldn't even be considered crimes, like just regular crimes, hate crimes, just because they affect, a certain group of, LGBTQ or a certain skin color or things like that. And it's really damaging to people who didn't do anything wrong, who are just made to be racists and sexists and anti-LGBTQ when it's not the case, and a lot of them are just trying to take advantage of the bad system that the United States currently has. So there's a lot of bad things to this system, and that the main one is that, as I said before, you should, if you want equality of all races, it should be equality of all races, not one race getting treated a little bit different than the other one. And if I go out and kill a white guy, I might get like 30 years of prison, and if I go out and kill a black guy, guess what? That number is like double, and it's horrible. Just because of the color of his skin. So we are actively contributing to racism through a law that is trying to, get rid of racism. And people just think that it's because it's, affecting white people badly that it's not racist, because you cannot be racist to white people, which is absolutely not true. You can be racist to anybody, because this law actively, targets white people, committing crimes against anybody, that if they're, part of the LGBTQ community, or they're, black, or they're whatever, and it actively targets people who aren't in those minorities, and it gives them worse sentences. And if you would just want to, like, if you're still not convinced about, how bad these laws are and you think they're justified, just think about if the roles were reversed. What if a black guy was committing these kinds of crimes and getting extra sentencing for it? I bet people wouldn't be so open to the idea. Real interesting to think about. And that's just the reality of it, because what's going on is that, we're trying to overcompensate for racism, so the roles have effectively swapped from white people, being favored mostly in laws, to now it's black people with these new hate crime laws, because any crime against a black person is like automatically like 2 times worse if you're white, and it's really, really horrible. And yeah, so just if you're having a hard time accepting that these laws are not good, and you're having a hard time like rejecting them because you think it's right that white people should be punished extra for just because of a suspected reason why they committed a crime, just think about if the roles were reversed. If a black guy, shot someone who was white, they got extra punishment. Obviously, people would be really, really upset about that, and people should be the same amount of upset at these laws, because they're the exact same, but it's just the roles reversed. So, just to kind of, okay, hold on, I actually need to not die in this cave. Let's get out of here. Oh, that was Monster Hunter. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm gonna try to find some iron. Oh, sorry for getting sidetracked. I'm just trying to actually make progress in my world right now. Okay, you need to stop. You are gonna die. Wow, great job. You really just exploded everywhere. So yeah, just to kind of conclude this, I don't know what you would call these videos, like just to conclude this commentary, just summarizing everything. These laws were literally made for the purpose of stopping racism, and because of them, more racism happens, because now black people are made to hate white people and, be constantly scrutinizing them for everything they do, which contributes to racism. And the system which it's built on, where certain people get special treatment because of their skin color, their LGBTQ affiliation, or whatever, their gender, their sexual orientation, is racist, and it's literally the exact opposite of what they want to accomplish with it. And just if you're still not convinced, as I said before, think about if the roles were reversed. Suddenly, it doesn't seem so bad now that a black person is being targeted, and it should be the exact same for white people if we want to treat everybody equally. So yeah, those are just kind of the concluding statements. I appreciate you if you made it this far. I'm glad you're supporting the channel, and even if you may not agree with me, I'm still proud of you for making it this far, because it's a lot more open-minded than most people today think, you know, even though they preach open-mindedness and acceptance and all that. So yeah, I appreciate you for making it this far, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.